Hey, welcome back to Gun Talk, coast to coast. For 30 years, we've been on the air talking about guns, and you are hearing this. This is real life. You're driving around in your car going, wait, what's happening right now? But maybe you just tune in because you are a gun nut like us, nut in the best way possible. But we talk about guns. We'll talk about self-defense. We'll talk about gun rights. We'll talk about favorite guns, shooting, hunting, self-defense. All those things are up for grabs on Gun Talk. And I'm your host, Ryan Gresham, filling in for Tom today. So if you're saying, it doesn't sound like Tom, well, he let us take the reins because he is on a mountain somewhere trying to hunt things. And we're doing this from the Gun Talk headquarters in the Gun Talk Nation studio. So we're filming it, which is not the usual thing. So if you want to go watch this, you can go watch it on Gun Talk's YouTube, Facebook, X, anywhere that you can find Gun Talk. You can go to guntalk.com and find us there. So thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. We have a lot of fun friends in the gun industry. It's one of the best industries because it's just the people. It's great people. It's like-minded people. And you get to know these folks for a long time and they kind of become family. And one of those people is Kenny Barlow. Kenny, welcome in, man.
Hey, thanks for having me. I love your visual element, but as a guy with a face for radio, I'm disappointed that this is how you got to see me.
Why are we filming this? Yes, this is
exactly.
Radio. Well, everything's filmed now. I mean, I love the people saying, I was watching this podcast the other day. I'm like, really? How do you do that? Because a podcast is like an audio thing, right? No, everything's mixed, right? So, Kenny, you are a guy who's been in the gun industry for what, a couple decades or so, roughly?
Yeah, I'm 20 years, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, been around, seen some things, and right now you're over at Regal Products, which Regal Products, tell people what you guys do, and then you have a kind of a cool program going on right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So Regal Products is the biggest company every gun owner has never heard of. We are the largest manufacturer of firearm safety devices in the world. So if you have bought a gun in the last 30 years, you've gotten one of our cable locks. You've seen it in the little wrapping with the instruction manual and everything. It's the 15-inch cable lock. That's us. 7 out of 10 times it's us. There's a couple other companies that do them as well. But that's what we've been doing in and out for 30 years is providing firearm safety devices. With our relationships with the OEM brands or with the manufacturers, what that has done is broadened into soft-sided goods like cases and whatever. So odds are you've probably gotten your hands on one of our cases because it came with a gun that you bought. Marketing premiums and stuff given out at shows and whatever.
Yeah. The swag.
And we're now, yeah, exactly. But now we're getting into the 21st century in terms of firearm safety devices, and we've branched out into some more electronic offerings. The one that you were alluding to was this thing we're doing with the VA with our Secure Me product. Secure Me we partnered with a company called Occupy, and it's just a movement sensing device. Kind of looks like an AirTag. And all it does is has an accelerometer, and when it senses movement, it pings your smartphone through an app. No tracking, no Big Brother, but it's just an early notification warning kind of thing. And then what we've done, since we're the lock guys, is we embedded it into our cable and trigger locks. Nice. And have bundled that all together. So you can use it on its own, and you can use it in one of our locks.
So, like, in case somebody's not like grasping, because there's a lot of stuff happening here, how would a gun owner use this? How would the regular guy incorporate this into their security strategy?
No, good question. So there's a variety of uses and use cases, and in fact, every time we present this at a show, we get more and more use cases that people think of. But you can use them inside the lock. If you're the traditional gun lock people, you can put it in a trigger lock, put the trigger lock on your pistol or your rifle. Same with the cable lock. But then you can actually use, like I said, you can use the product without the lock. So you could put it, say, on your safe door or your gun room door, liquor cabinet. I had a guy at an NRA ask if you could put it on his kid's window. So anything that you would think would be useful to be notified of movement, you can implement it. Another use case, someone said they were going to use it to put on their elderly parents' medicine bottles.
Oh wow!
Because there's a log inside the app, so you can see when there's a timestamp for all the movement detection, and so their parent forgets to take their medicine, so they can check this log to see if the pill bottle's been moved.
Yeah, very
things
cool.
like that.
So, I mean, you're taking the old school way. You had all these cable locks you've been doing forever, and everybody has a cable lock, and probably it's one of yours. Now you have the movement incorporated in there. And then what's this new program you guys are doing with the VA?
Yeah, so one of the things that we have done for years now with the VA is we are the primary vendor for their suicide prevention program. So they provide our cable locks with the 988 press 1 for veteran messaging on it for the VA. And they have this really awesome program called Mission Daybreak. And Mission Daybreak is expressly to find companies that are innovating in the firearm safety space. And so you can apply for a grant or contract with them to pilot your products. And so we are in a contract with the VA's pilot program with SecureMe to see to gather feedback on the product and its uses inside the veteran care community, and see if this is a product worth folding into their toolbox of firearm safety devices that the VA can offer to veterans. So,
okay, yeah. So I mean, veterans, how would they? Because you guys are needing people to participate in the program, is that right?
We are full on phase 1. We are hoping that the VA greenlights a phase 2, which is a very big subset of veterans that we're going to need help with. So fingers crossed on that. We actually are full up on the phase 1 program, which is awesome. We just completed that at the Military Influencer Conference. So the product is having interviews conducted right now, and it's sort of like a focus group. So the veterans are getting it, trying it out for a week, and we partnered with the University of Colorado to keep the survey unbiased, and they're going to provide us all the feedback, tell us what they like, tell us if they hated it. We want all that feedback so that we can actually implement the changes in the product to make something that would be conducive for the VA.
And of course, there's always people these studies are important, but there's always people who are concerned about the anonymity of it and some of those questions and concerns. And you were telling me you guys have addressed a lot of that.
Yeah, and that's actually part of it is the reason why we are using the university is to keep their anonymity, because the university itself has what's called an institutional review board, and it is basically a independent body at the university that prevents ethics violations as it relates to using the survey data. So we are not conducting the survey. We get no personal information. We're not even allowed to know who is being interviewed. And so they hide all of that information. It's not being turned over to anybody. We are just getting the feedback from the university, and they are actually held to legislative standards in terms of the data handling. So there's all these data use agreements, and that's why we actually use them, is to prevent any of that. So they use a special software that satisfies certain regulatory requirements for data handling and on privacy and all that.
Got it. Nice. Well, it's a good program, and it's something that, the mental health aspect of all these things, people probably don't realize how much the gun industry and gun community are very active in trying to help in dealing with the mental health issues that are going on out there and being very proactive. Kenny, changing gears, we've been having all these discussions about different questions we've been putting out on the Gun Talk social media, Gun Talk Facebook. We put a bunch of questions out there, and we had a bunch of responses. One that was kind of just a fun question. And for people listening, go over to the Gun Talk Facebook and chime in and give us your thoughts. But the question is this: how many guns and how much ammo constitutes an arsenal? Finger quotes, arsenal.
Arsenal. I mean, there's so many ways to answer that. There's the obviously tongue-in-cheek inside the industry, who's asking,
right?
Kind of question.
That's the first one from Ron on Facebook. Total amount I have is nobody's business.
Yeah, exactly. No,
that's like talking about like surveys. That's you have how many guns do you have in your home, and it's like there's like here's a number. And here's a number, and then like the third most popular answer is none of your business.
None of your business. Yeah. I don't. What would constitute an arsenal? I mean, that's a good question. Some would look at my collection and probably go, that's an arsenal by the amount of guns and ammo. Yeah, it really does.
Because when it comes out in the news, it's like they they confiscated 10 guns and 1,000 rounds of ammunition. It was an arsenal.
Always an arsenal.
The question I have is like, for these publicity photos, who's the person who displays these? Because they'll like, especially, I mean, now we're making fun of this because most gun owners own thousands of rounds of ammunition, because if you come to a class at our place for a 3-day class, you're going to need probably close to 1,000 rounds of ammunition, right, Chris?
That's right.
So, I mean, that's just a 3-day class. It's not that much ammo, really. And then we talk about all the different types of guns that you have for competition or for long-range shooting or for self-defense, for concealed carry. So, yeah, if your hobby is this, you end up with plenty of guns and ammunition. But the fact that they overuse this whole arsenal thing is basically the question is poking fun at that. But I want to know, who is the person at the department who has to fan out the money and has to like arrange the guns? And do they have who's deciding this, Chris? This is the public information officer?
I don't know. It's all done for dramatic effect. We already know that if you've got a semi-automatic pistol and 500 rounds of ammunition, that's an arsenal. I mean, it sounds menacing, does it? A semi-automatic handgun and 500 rounds of ammunition. And inside that safe was $30,000 in cash.
Yeah, because, sometimes you just
Because some people like to save a little cash?
Because you're active on Facebook Marketplace. I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what, the whole thing that sets it up, Kenny, if you think about it, is what did you do that someone was in your safe taking your arsenal and your ammo
and
finding
question.
Your cash?
Yeah. Don't be that guy where you're like, I only had 15 guns. And they're like, but why are they having to confiscate your guns, Kenny?
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. The root cause of why they're there taking photos of your arsenal in the first place is probably the thing that needs to be addressed.
If you're arguing whether or not it's an arsenal, we're already
too far.
The curveball.
Man, I'd lawyer up. Like, if we're having this conversation, lawyer up is what I'd say.
Kenny, why are you using your one call to call me to complain that they called it an arsenal? You need to call a lawyer.
Yeah. Hey, Ryan, this is my one call. Question. What is considered an arsenal? Asking for a friend.
Yeah. Dude, hang up with me and call your attorney.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you doing right now? Yeah, I do like some of the comments, though. Whatever it is, I surely don't have enough for that label yet. It's always just one more. I just need one more.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing is, if you know how much, like, I don't know how much 9mm I have. I don't know how many guns I have. I don't know how much 22 I have.
Arsenal, enough to arm a garrison at least. Now I have, garrison? How much ammo is it?
What is a garrison?
Wait, that's the goal. You want, if they come to your house, they go beyond arsenal. They say, this was like enough guns and ammo for a garrison.
Yes.
And then
now
everybody,
you've crossed
everybody
the
watching
line.
the 10 p.m. news has to Google garrison and figure out, what are they talking about?
You have crossed the line, sir.
All right.
If I can supply this.
Fun, but hold on. We got to take a break. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to Gun Talk. Talking with Kenny Barlow from Regal Products. Kenny, we were talking about this whole concept of like how many guns and how much ammo is an arsenal. You hear this on the news. They confiscated an arsenal of weapons at this guy's house. And most times for gun owners, we're kind of chuckling because we're like, that's not that many guns. Now, knowing that you did used to work for North American Arms for a while, do you think like if you had like 20 mini revolvers, would they call that an arsenal?
No, because I think it's
a shoebox.
Right. I think the rule is 4 mini revolvers to a single full-size pistol.
That's the ratio.
So it's 5. That's 5 full-size guns. So I don't think that counts as an arsenal. No.
KJ, you have thoughts on the arsenal deal?
I do have thoughts. You go and read these comments, and they're great comments, and there was a lot of funny ones. But like, I can tell that a guy went in there and goes, "What I have is nobody's business." We're not asking that. We're just asking for a ballpark number here. We're not like saying, "Hey, could you tell us what's in your safe right now?" And one of my favorite comments was like, "Oh, yeah, good luck, Fed boy. I mean, we're not going there.
Nice try, Fed.
I promise, we're not those guys. We just want to hear your thoughts on this.
Well, some people just aren't funny, Kevin.
I mean, it would be surprising though if somebody answered, "Well, I actually own 20 illegal machine guns." Like, hey man. Also, just a word of advice: I wouldn't put that on Facebook.
No.
No, I'd turn them in. That's what I would do. I want to know how many they got, and I want to.
Or
Come on now.
Or my uncle brought this back from the Vietnam War. And do you think it's full auto? Do you think it's okay for me to own? I'm like, no hablo no hablo inglés.
We'll bury that in the backyard.
What? That's where I go. What? I don't know what
Wait,
you're talking
what are you
about.
talking
I didn't hear you. And then this one is really good. All right. Kenny you have to tell me what you think of this comment from Joshua Albans. He says, I've got a McDonald's straw and an entire roll of Charmin, extra tough. I think that should constitute as a full-blown arsenal.
That is a third grader's arsenal.
Yeah,
I had one of
100%.
those.
Yeah. Transported back to my childhood.
Yes.
It is kind of funny.
It's funny
Some people are funny.
Yes.
Some people are not.
And
Oh.
some people are not.
Now here it
And
is.
some of these people are getting very specific with
Oh
this,
yeah,
too.
very, very specific. And Mark Mellon, he says, same as assault rifle. It's a made-up word.
How much
Arsenal is a made-up word.
How much flour constitutes a pantry? What? Are you a full-on baker? Are you going pro?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. Like, if you're thinking about the I guess the philosophical or technical aspect of what an arsenal is, like if you start your collection, is the intent to gain an arsenal? Like, are you adding to the arsenal? Like, is it an adjective to describe all of your gun collection, no matter how small or how big?
Yeah. At what point have you crossed into arsenal territory here? Now, I mean, collection, different deal.
But they do say you had a small arsenal. Sometimes they say a small arsenal. I think that I'd be offended personally if somebody.
I'd be
said
offended.
Small arsenal.
Hey, it's not that small.
It's not that small.
First of all, it's not the size that counts.
Look, I've got a 6-inch staccato.
Like one gun and one round of ammo. He had a small arsenal. It's a very
is
small
very
arsenal.
Small arsenal. Right.
All those mini revolvers would constitute a small arsenal.
Yes, you figured it out.
It's a small arsenal.
Correct.
A large arsenal would be a 50 cal.
Yeah.
Jeez, mini
I
revolver.
want to have enough guns to outfit a brigade.
A brigade.
There was a comment on there that said exactly that. So what would be the word they would describe for your arsenal? Would they say it's a stockpile?
They would say I had enough for a regiment.
He had enough for his family.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
I have enough to get by.
Yeah, definitely.
Right?
Yeah, I would say that they would probably use the word stockpile. Upon my arrest, the word stockpile will likely come up.
Would you be
absolutely.
called a hoarder?
All right. But lastly, this is the important part because Kenny and I have a back and forth going. 90s music, okay? 90s music. 90s song, 90s band that is underappreciated.
Underappreciated?
Underappreciated 90s song, 90s band.
90s, underappreciated. I go Blues Traveler's Hook.
Oh, best harmonica solo on the radio because it's the only harmonica solo on the radio, pretty much.
Well,
great.
There's two real quick points on that. Is one, it means nothing. The song is literally about people becoming fans of it, and he wrote like it's the most absurd song. It means nothing. And then also the song is actually transposed in canon. D. It's if you listen to the music, it's
my
actually
gosh.
Paco Bell's canon.
We've opened up a can of worms. Kenny, it's always good to have you on. I regret asking the question, but I don't. Thank you. We will see you next time. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back to Gun Talk, Talking Guns. They still haven't kicked us off the air. It's remarkable. 30 years of national syndication across the country talking about guns, gun rights, self-defense, hunting, gun nerdery, favorite guns, favorite calibers. And we are filling in for Tom this week because he's off doing hunting things again. I mean, this is what he does now, KJ. He just goes and hunts the country.
Oh, he's living my life. He is living it.
Don't worry, in 30
I love
minutes
it.
he'll be there.
So for those who are listening to this is also a podcast. So if you go, oh, that's cool, guns. I didn't know there was a show about guns out there. Just find Gun Talk wherever you listen to podcasts. Look us up. We've got Gun Talk Radio, which is normally hosted by Tom. You've got that there. We've got Gun Talk Nation, which is my show. We've got KJ's show, Gun Talk Hunt, and lots of good content. Lots of good content.
It's unreal how much this little office puts out. Like every time I'm shocked about new stuff coming out, and we've got more announcements coming up that we can't divulge too much on, but a lot of new things coming down the pipe.
A lot of new things coming up. But Chris, you went on a bit of a road trip this past week or week and a half or so. And so I wanted to kind of get the updates because you did two things. You went to the World Shooting Championship, and you also attended an Aimpoint event. So World Shooting Championship, this is one of your favorites. Tell people what this match is.
It's my yearly sabbatical. The only time I've missed it is once for cancer. That was the very first one. And then, of course, during the COVID times because,
Everything got canceled.
Everything got canceled. So, I went up. This is the second year it's been at Camp Atterbury, the NRA's World Shooting Championships. And it was lightly attended because last year's World Shooting Championships were bad.
The weather was awful.
The weather was
cold
awful.
and rainy.
The time of the year was awful. The coordination was awful. It was the first time they brought the match back after
let's defend the people put on match. It's hard to put on a big match.
It's a big match.
So many logistics involved.
So, needless to say, there was a lot of things that were unpalatable about last year's. This year, the NRA, they knew it. Everybody knew it. That's why there wasn't so many people there. But listen, they knocked it out of the park this year. The stages were amazing. The coordination was amazing. The timing was amazing. The prize tables were well laid out. And if you want to win guns and you've got some skills, you could walk away with guns.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. So explain to people what the World Shooting Championship is. What's the premise of the event?
Well, the World Shooting Championship is like Top Shot in a weekend. So it's 12 different shooting disciplines. You shoot 4 a day for 3 days.
Okay.
And you shoot everything from sporting clays to fee tasks to long range precision, PRS, then 22 PRS, USPSA, IDPA, cowboy action, biathlon,
air guns,
air pistol, bullseye, one-handed NRA bullseye.
Gosh, so normally this is a very unique event. Normally people go, I did a USPSA speed pistol shooting match or a sporting clays match.
Yep.
But this is all of it, and you have to be good at all of them to finish at the top.
Yeah, and this year they incorporated the ARC, the America's Rifle Challenge that NRA is coming out with. They did the state level 1, which is just the rifle. And then they also did level 3, which is 2-gun, which I had a really good time at. And I missed both my sighter shots before I shot that. And then I went 1 for 1 with on all the long-range targets.
What was doing all these different types of disciplines? I know you don't shoot all of them normally.
No.
Most of them you don't shoot normally.
I don't shoot any of this stuff.
But
I shoot guns on TV, Ryan.
Like the guy
It's
asked
all
you,
the magic of TV.
Hey, are those shots really your shots? Like, actually, we don't really doctor it up too much,
Yeah, we don't.
What was the most surprising, the most fun? What were some of the events that stood out to you?
Well, and then there's side matches. So, companies like Keltec put on a side match with their Sub 2000, and Mossberg had a side match with their Jerry Miculek 12 gauge, the 3-gun shotgun. Man, what was my favorite? I can't tell you. Honestly, my favorites generally like the cowboy action.
Yeah.
Because it's stuff that I never get to do, working a single action pistol. And I'll ask you guys, for everybody that's watching and listening, did you see me practice anything before I left?
No.
Never, ever.
No.
Right.
Ever.
I don't. But it's those solid fundamentals, and of course I've done this stuff and I know how to work guns, but yeah, I'll tell you what I'm going to work on for next year. I'm going to work on getting in position a little bit better around the PRS barricades.
Yep.
I want to get more stable, faster. I'm going to work on my one-handed shooting. I've got some new ideas from what I learned with Aimpoint when we were there, when I was there. And I'm also going to work on my biathlon, my shooting with my 10-22 at 50 yards on a 3-inch plate.
Because you got to be really accurate with that.
Man, and well, they make you carry this stuff across the range, and you got to put it in a box, and you step up to your gun, you chamber it, and then you go. Am I hitting my microphone, Michael, or am I just hitting my shirt?
You're right. So,
I'm sorry.
But here's the
I
thing.
did it like 3 times.
The thing that you and I were talking about is it is called the World Shooting Championship. And it sounds daunting, but for anyone listening to this...
Well, they got an amateur division, right?
There's an amateur division. It's an annual thing. And you can just show up. You don't have to qualify. I mean, you can... Is that right? You can pay your money and go shoot it.
100%. It was, I think it was $450. I don't know if it was the same for AMs as it was for pros. But they didn't... One of the cool things this year was they didn't sell mulligans to the pros, and they didn't give the amateurs a mulligan. So what you shot was what you got.
So $450, you show up, all of the guns and ammunition are provided, right?
Yeah, we're going to talk about what I won when we come back.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Because I'm excited. I mean, because a lot of people are going to be scared by $450.
I know, $450, but you show up, it's all done for you, and you get to shoot these 12 different stages. Like you said, it's kind of like Top Shot in 3 days' time, where you get to do these really cool stages, shoot these really cool guns that maybe you don't usually shoot, and hang out with a lot of good people. So it's something that is open to the public and people could consider. But when we come back, we're going to talk about how did Chris do, what did he win, and we'll also talk about lessons from his Aimpoint event. New thoughts on red dots. We'll be back with more gun talk right after this. Hey, welcome back to Gun Talk. Talking with Chris Serino and Kevin Jarnigan, Team Gun Talk. We're filling in for Tom this week. And we're talking about the NRA World Shooting Championships that you just got back from, Chris. 12 stages, 12 different disciplines: shotguns, air pistol, regular pistol, long-range rifle. I mean,
One-hand,
all these...
two-hand, all of it.
All of it. So you love it because I think one of the reasons Chris likes it, KJ, is because he usually does pretty well in it.
Yes, he does well in it, and he should, because he presses a good trigger, and he has good fundamentals. And I think that's what it all comes down to. The people who do well in those competitions, it's not that they know how to play the game, because you can get really used to an NRL hunter game, and you understand the PRS side of things, and it's kind of a game, and I'm gaming it. But I feel like the World Championships is more broad than that. You can't game it. You've got to be solid.
I mean, pick up any gun and be able to shoot it.
My advice to everyone this year was just get your hits. You got a par time, 120 seconds, whatever your par time is, get your hits.
Yeah.
Because they increased. It was great. I loved what the NRA did this year. Guys, you knocked it out of the park. Inside 100 yards, 10-second penalty. Outside 100 yards, 20-second penalty for a miss.
So take your time and get it.
You're going to spend an extra 3 seconds to aim, or are you going to incur a 20-second penalty? Because if they give you 10 targets, you get 10 bullets.
Yeah.
It's not like you get to miss.
Yeah.
You know.
Wow. So how'd you do?
I think this was my best finish, but here again, remember I said a lot of people didn't show up.
Stop.
There were a few hundred people there.
I don't like that. I don't like when you do that. You're like setting up there are good shooters there. There are good amateurs there.
Oh, yeah.
Like the competition that shows up to those matches, it's no joke from top to bottom. So it doesn't matter how many people enter. There's good people in there, and you finished really high. Be proud of that.
I am proud of it. I did double better than there was half the people. So I came in 10th. Normally I come in around 20th. It's all averages out, but that's my shtick, KJ, is that I am consistent. I am consistently mediocre. I don't practice anything. I don't go there to win. I go there to vet my skills and the skills and that I teach people.
Well, here's the thing.
Yes. The skills that I
on their
teach people.
website, it says $250,000 in cash and prizes. So there were a lot of prizes available. And for those who've never attended a shooting match, Chris, explain how the prize table works.
Yeah, they just call you off in order, and they
In
put
order.
it
So
out.
first place goes to walk through,
Yep.
and they pick first of all these different guns and optics and prizes that are out
and
there.
everything that you use and shoot at that match is on the prize table.
So you walked through, and what did you pick up?
Well, I was 10th place this year, so I always take a gun. I always take a gun, and it's usually a really good gun. But this year I walked past some of the other higher dollar value items, and I took a really beautiful over-under Weatherby, because Weatherby sponsored one of these. It's the first time Weatherby's done it.
Yeah.
And I was enamored with the shotgun, number one, for the way it looked and felt. Number two, I shot lights out with it.
And we shot that gun,
Yes,
and
we
it's
did.
nice. 30-inch
30-inch barrels. I've never had a 30-inch
And they're
gun yet.
ported. I mean, it's a 12-gauge shotgun, but when you shoot it, it just feels, it almost feels like when you shoot a rifle that has an incredible comp on it.
Yeah.
And there's like, where's the recoil? There's no
Kind of a
recoil.
little oof.
Yeah,
And
it's just
like,
kind of a
really?
boop, boop. It's just nothing.
Well-
All right, but then you left there and you went to an Aimpoint event where it was a one-day training event, but you picked up some things at the Aimpoint event.
Yeah, you know what? I have great respect for Aimpoint. They've been doing great things. They make great products. I still have one of their original micros. I think it's an H1, not even a T1, and that thing always has worked well for me. But you know, I've never really cared for the Acro because it looks, they call it the mailbox. It's
Yeah.
big, it's
Yeah.
thick, but now they got the COA, the COA, which you know stands for.
Nothing.
What?
I asked him, I said, what is the COA? What does this COA stand for? And he said, nothing. It means nothing. We just had to come up with something and
Yeah.
put it together.
I don't know.
It's like Dasani, by the
This
way.
is going to be the
it means
easy-
nothing.
It's going to be the easiest segment we ever do when we do a piece with it.
It's
So
the color.
we don't have to remember anything.
Yeah.
So anyways, same size window. That was cool.
Yeah.
It goes in like a ski boot. Goes into a ski binding.
Oh,
That's
okay.
how it works.
Now
so
that's
it goes
cool.
in and down, but then you screw the back end down. So folks, listen, if you're interested in what it is and how it works, they call it an A-cut. Still not available to the public, only through Glock right now.
Right.
But it's going to happen, and when it does happen, it's probably going to be one of the greatest things going.
It's a really good way to mount a red dot on a pistol.
Question.
Yeah.
Is that the precursor to everybody standardizing the footprint of optics for mounting on pistols?
It very well could be, because it is a base cut that keeps it very, very low. All you've done is created a wedge on the front, so it goes in, it clips down, a tail on the back. So when it clips in, except it doesn't clip in, you screw the thing back down. So there's no forces exerted on the screws.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
And,
And I learned some shooting tips too.
okay.
What'd you learn?
Share.
Yeah, I learned.
Share.
I learned something that. Listen, I'm going to be switching to red dots here pretty soon because I can't see nothing. I
Wait,
know,
this
you
is
big-
groundbreaking. Yeah.
Just in, everybody. Chris Serino said he's going to start using red dots on
I
pistols.
heard it.
Yes, you're hearing it here first, folks. You heard it right here first, because everybody that listens to Tom always says, "Oh, I already know from listening on Tom's show. You can't stand."
Well,
red
that's
dots."
our joke with Chris.
Yeah.
He's like, look, I don't like red dots. I mean, I shoot better with them. I shoot more accurately and faster with them. I just don't like them. But they do keep getting better and better and better.
Well, the deal is this. I found out, this is going to be the pointer. I know we're running out of time right now, so the smaller the dot, the more you have a tendency to try to aim with the dot rather than just put it out in front of you and do
Okay.
target focus. So hence our next class coming up with the Colt. Yeah, 6MOA. I'm excited. And the bigger the dot, the less problem you have with an astigmatism.
Oh, okay, good tips. We're gonna keep talking about this because red dots on pistols are hot. And would you start a new shooter with irons or just go straight to the dot? We'll be back with more gun talk. All right, welcome back to Gun Talk. We're talking about red dots with Chris Serino, Kevin Jarnigan, filling in for Tom this week. And Chris, you were at an Aimpoint event and learning some things. And I threw it out there right as we were going to break because it's something we were talking about is a brand new shooter, and we had a Essentials Pistol Skills class. I'm messing up the name. Essential Skills?
Essential pistol skills, I believe.
The old
We had one at the this past weekend at Range Ready, our training division here. And the question is, would you start a brand new shooter do they need to learn irons, or do you just give them a red dot and let them learn that, and because that's what they're going to be running going forward?
Okay, so for me, I was kind of upset that the boys put Peyton into a red dot right off the bat because she for whatever reason.
A girl who came here and she hasn't shot
22,
pistols
she's
much.
one of our camera guys' daughters. She should have been learning how to shoot iron sights. Or should she? Or should she? Because here's my thoughts, KJ, and I want to hear what you think. So red dot, true target focus shooting.
Right.
It's a terrible habit to look at the target with iron sights, right?
Right.
Iron sights, you got to look at the sights, don't look at the target. You got to trust that what you're doing is right, and then you can look at the target, right?
Wrong. Don't look at the target. Like, just focus on the
Well, you
task
look
at
at it
hand
when
and
you're
follow
done.
through.
So we could argue like, well, it's a good skill to know how to shoot a gun with irons. Is that like saying, I mean, it's a good skill to know how to ride a horse because your car might break down?
Well, no, I don't know if I would. I don't know. It's funny to think about. But I mean, you just hop on the horse, right? And it does the thing, you know? But
No, horse, do the thing. Do the thing, horse.
Go. Right? Like, okay, I hopped on his back. It's supposed to work.
You want to see instant gratification. Everybody that's learning something new wants to see some instant gratification, right? Or they want to see some performance. So with a red dot, can you truly focus on the target and be like, oh yeah, I'm going to put it right there, and maybe get them there, and then you don't develop that peeky habit over the sights?
No, I think no.
So
I think
no
it's
peeky habit.
I think what you're saying is that if they end up going back to iron sights after seeing their success with red dots, is it going to be tougher for them to learn irons rather than transitioning them into red dots? And I think it is harder because I'm still shooting iron sights because Chris got on to me and he said, no, you're going to shoot iron sights because I want you to learn the process before going to something that's a little bit easier. But
I'm afraid I'm wrong.
But here's the giant but in the room is I want new shooters to have success. And I want them to really succeed.
Well, that's a good point, right? Because you're going to get better quicker shooting a red dot on a pistol.
Yes.
Right? We kind of agree?
Yes.
I think you're going to get better quicker because you don't have a habit you're trying to break with looking for the front side.
Selection isn't caused by poor trigger pull. Isn't caused by your sighting system.
It's also less to explain. We talk about the rear sight and the front sight and burying the front sight in the rear sight and making sure you have equal light on both sides and making sure that the front sight's not, it's equal, it's level with the top of the sights. You don't have to say any of those things with a red dot. You see the dot, you put it on the target, and you press the trigger without moving the dot. That's all you have to do.
Maybe it eliminates one.
A 4-year-old could understand, put the dot on the target and press the trigger.
I know, that's what I just asked. Am I wrong? I don't know what to think anymore.
I'm so confused.
I know, I don't know what to think anymore. And the reason I'm thinking about it all is because I just can't see.
Well, and that's why Chris is going to be shooting a red dot very soon. A lot of people who shoot red dots are not just the young, cool kids. It's the guys like us who the eyes are getting not as good. We'll be right back with more Gun Talk.